that will cut the noodles in long strips 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up the little nuts for cake? Well, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers. When you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup, making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat, once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these, cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here's a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, this has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. Breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Why, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just hit it down like that. That knocks all the food out. Rinse it out in a little water and hang it up and let it dry. Now, here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife, so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go round the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now that can be used for sardine cans, square cans or round cans, exactly the same way. Now, this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven, get your hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness. Every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick. Drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it. Makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating... Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, will receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's two curls out of the one potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the two colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. Upon my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat them. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in two. Serve them on the half shell, just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now, the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way, and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this. Drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast while they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champeen Vegetable Mincing Knife and Noodle Cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Well, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers. When you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup, making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat, once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these, cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see.
Hello everyone, how we doing this evening? I am just realizing now that I haven't switched over my audio. Give me one moment here. That's a bit better. And you guys should be able to hear the music now. Sort out my apron here. Okay. So tonight, going to be doing pork but going to be doing braised pork, and I don't feel like dealing with all these bones. These bones are going to be great for a future batch of stock of some sort. So what I'm going to do is first make sure I'm not echoing. There we go. Is we're going to cut this off the bone. Going over these backbones. There's some good audio. And there we go. Throw that in the bag and throw that back in the freezer. Good with all that, basically. Little bit of fat cut off there. And the rest, we're gonna braise. That's still feeling pretty hard there in the center. I gave this a pretty good defrost. Oh wells, we'll cook it anyways. Hopefully any and everyone out there is having a lovely evening. my day has been relatively pleasant, uneventful, other than needing to run to the store for eggs. But started work on a new panel for the info section below, but that's going to be a couple days out. Worked on going to be added a new section to the Discord, and starting next month, well, starting the end of this month, but for each Wednesday next month, I'm going to run a poll the week ahead in Discord, and I'll give everyone in Discord the chance to vote between two odd sort of random ingredients, and I will have to use voted product in the food that following Wednesday, which we'll do. I'll announce it on Wednesday, so I'll do it on the 30th. I'll put the poll up after the stream that evening, or maybe I'll make it on stream. It'll run until sometime Monday. Whenever I get to it Monday, I'm not going to set a specific time, but sometime Monday, I'm going to cut off the voting, and then the winner will be done on Wednesday. At least that's the current tentative plan, with me running and doing all this myself. We'll throw the fat in here with the bones. Oops. What are you doing down there? That isn't very clear. Actually, that's about as clear as mud. That isn't better. Oh well, I'm living with it. If I can't figure it out, it's my own fault. Cool. So we got this guy. Debating how I want to do this. Do I actually want to... I think I'm going to pull this bad boy back out tonight. We'll sear them in a pan first, cast iron. So we got that set. You also got the rice to do. That's not going to be a major ordeal. Yeah, we'll get going with the braise here. It'll take us some time to do a braise on all this. So that'll be the main time sink tonight. Get a flame going here. We got our fan on already. Close the bedroom door so we don't get any smoke alarms going off. Bad enough that I can't breathe the air outside. I'm gonna create horrible air inside too. Okay. It's pretty good. I moved the mic again. That's not too bad. So we'll give this a decent salting. This isn't really a proper roast. I haven't tied it or anything. Actually, let's do a little hatching in that fat too. Lots of salt. We'll start fat side down so we don't get any fat in the pan. Oops. For anyone interested in playing Stream Raiders, I don't know if they updated their logo. They haven't updated their logo on there either. They are now StreamRaiders.com. They sent out a message to everyone, making sure everyone knew that. Oh, hummingbirds are feuding over the feeders in front of me here. Man, they're just ruthless. They go right for the neck on each other. Wow, we're already ready for our first battle there. I think we're gonna lose the first battle. I think it's probably just me. I haven't heard anyone place anything. cleaning action there. Clean up our hands from handling the fork. Alright, Entropy. This one was labeled as hard, so we'll see. Welcome in. Hopefully you're having a lovely evening. Alright, Natl. Time for my valiant death. Because I have the other mic on. On it against the pan, but at a point where if anything drips, it's going in the pan. Because otherwise, great way to start a fire. So yeah, as I was saying that, let's turn off the other mic again. As I was saying here, I was tucking the little corners here under. Doing sort of a slow sear on this today. Even though I got the flame pretty high here. That's something that I can get going. Oh, I'm in no rush. All that time on that side, and still only that little bit of color. How about now? This should be a little bit better. Cool. a little color there. Could do more like we did on the top here. Could all use a little bit more love. So I'm tired of holding on it now. Make a quick late going live photo here. There, got a nice sear. Didn't love that flare up there. Meat gripper? What do you mean by meat gripper? Oh. There's a couple of ways you can do that otherwise. You can just angle a spoon off the side of the thing and it just shows to hold it there. You can do that just like this. No. Pan's rocking pretty good now. I don't know how long I need to hold this now. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. I need some water. But thanks for this idea. You up. You guys. You. And you. Any Blues Brothers fans out there? Well, all right then, poster. That got me moving there. That got me worried there was something going on. Let's do our last maneuver here. Is that on Amazon Prime? Maybe we can do a watch party after and keep the Stream Raider going. I don't know, can you do Stream Raider with a watch party? Okay, cutting the flame on the oil. Look at that beautiful bottom. Not nearly as beautiful on the top here with all that fat, but that's where all that fat went. Set you over here. We'll come back to you. Actually, no, we're going to get going with that right away here. we're going to add, let's be a little bit more specific with our measurements. Add 2 cups of water. We'll use that to get started. I honestly want to say that I already checked if the Blues Brothers was on Prime, and it wasn't. It was a pay-for movie. It's a high-pitched noise that this mic picks up and the other one doesn't. Pretty sure it's a refrigerator, but yep. That's something that, well, long list of things that I'm looking for in a different kitchen. Worried that was more than one clove there and I was gonna go flying on me. Yeah. Oh, this is a old cheap one, and it's not quiet. There's 101 small cloves here. This is gonna be better saved for like stock. Which I'm gonna have to make some stock here soon. Yeah, that's one of them. There's many downsides. There's upsides. Don't get me wrong, but yeah and no, because I usually end up paying for the small stuff rather than bothering the landlord for something that's not worth either one of our time bothering. And in the decade of living here, granted the place was a year or less old when I moved in, but in the decade I've been here, basically nothing's need to be done other than the washer and dryer serviced once or twice. Yeah, and there's taxes. Those are not fun. And in my case, I'm not paying water. So yeah, that sounds about right. I've got two 100-pound propane tanks mounted on my catering trailer, and I don't believe that they are still legal to be refilled, even though they're perfectly fine. They're just too old, and they have expiration dates. Well, they have refurbishment dates, but everyone I've talked to and everything I've looked at shows that it's cheaper just to buy two new tanks than to have someone refurbish them for you. Because it's cheaper for an assembly line just to pump out another one than it is to pay a skilled laborer to actually fix an old one, even though all he's doing is checking the welds and repainting it. Well, yeah, it's American and Asian thing more than European, thankfully. I have great appreciation for some of the things that they have put into law in Europe, even though like you have different methods of doing it, but essentially there's certain benefits to restoring or repairing things. They get benefits on their sales tax essentially by going to a repairer. In some form. I mean, there's so many businesses that, especially right now, that are hurting that could be benefited by that, and there's no real reason that they're dying other than capitalism. Like, in the decade I've been here, the last watch shop and the last knife shop in the county have both closed. Both of those are in that exact, it's a skilled person that's it's all going to move online. I mean, it's what we're doing here, but yay, this is up to a boil. Okay. So we got our garlic set. Let's do a quick chop on our onion so that's ready. Problem here in the States is you'll get people complaining that they don't have the right to do that over me. That's an unfair business practice to me. And go to court. I'm gonna sell half as many widgets, even though my widgets are destroying the earth. Now, I didn't mean to do that. We're living with it. I'm gonna wash that off. We're cooking it. I'm okay with that. It's just my compost. Let's pour most of this fat off. These though I don't have enough lard saved already, but oil on the outside of the pan. Turn that back on. But, well, a lot of the environmentalists, or at least a lot of the movement stuff, especially here in California where they're all progressive and all that, they were going after to-go bags and straws and just about anything that was plastic. And now all of a sudden everyone's getting to-go food. That'll quiet it up real quick. Turn our fan back on. I don't know how much we're going to do against plastic anyways, considering that they found plastic in essentially remote, inaccessible areas that has been put there by rain. another battle here. Let me get these onions going. Make sure we're not burning our garlic here on bottom. Turn the heat down on that a little bit since we're going to do our battle. A little salt in there. A little salt in there for with the braising liquid. Yep. That was a little fine there at the end. Oh well. I'm more of the opinion that science, we need to engineer a way to deal with the plastic that's economic and worthwhile to business. Like I said, there needs to be a way. We're just gonna throw that straight in with the fork here. They have all sorts of things that they're working on, but it's a matter of making it both commercial so that you can repeat it regularly, and so that it's profitable in some form, so it's actually worthwhile for them to do all this rather than trying to be run by some random charity making bracelets or something. Not to bash on charities that's an actual charity, and I don't mean to bash them. I mean, we've found bacteria, algae, fungus, waxworms, several other small insects will eat plastics and consume them and digest them and break them down. Certain cases like waxworms, they're only shown to do it if they're trapped, so obviously they don't enjoy the process. But I don't think we have to worry about bacteria, algae, or fungi complaining. Maybe fungi. They're closer to us than any plant. And I forgot that battle. Just that quick. Gonna add a little bit of water with those onions. Let's see if we can't do any better this time, Entropy. Entropy sniped the treasure chest from me. No rewards. Victory. Victory is its own reward. Let's go down here. This looks more interesting. Alright, Entropy behind me. They fixed it in the game yet? Yeah, they did fix it in the game. You'll notice Stream Raiders up here at the top. They have changed their domain officially to Stream Raiders. So we got this guy bubbling along here. That's still going a little strong, so I'm going to shut that down a little bit. Let those guys hang out for a minute here while we finish up the rest of our sauce here. Yeah. I think the original plan was to build a variety of games under the Stream Captain title. I don't know this for sure. This is all conjecture on my part. But I think they intended to create a bunch of different games. I think Stream Raiders ended up being a larger project than they originally thought it would be, but is still working. And so I think they're trying to focus in on Stream Raiders for right now, and because this is making them money, the games that aren't out there aren't making the money. That's usually what happens when accountants get involved. So we'll take a fair amount of peanut butter here. I'm gonna do about a cup here. I'm not gonna measure it. Actually, it's a little bit more than a cup, but all right. I still think they do intend to make other games. I just think it's on the back burner now. So we got peanut. We need... Ooh! Hello there! Welcome, born sly as a fox. Fellow Raiders. Hopefully you're all having a lovely evening here. We're doing a little dinner here. If you're not familiar, I cook on stream here 3 nights a week. I do Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays at 4:30 Pacific. We got some onions here. We got some pork that I seared off. And we're starting to braise. And I'm starting in on a peanut sauce with that pork as well. How you doing, Spore and Sly as a Fox? How you been? What were you streaming earlier today? Cooking food or slaying an apex? Or are we doing new things? Nice. Should grab a whisk and do this properly. Thank you for the follow, Pilgrim. So we got vinegar, a little peanut butter, sort of coarsely ground peanut butter, ground at my supermarket sort of stuff. And this is going to go in with the pork. I just wanted to mix it in with the vinegar, maybe a little oil here to make sure it gets incorporated. I didn't get my soy sauce. I bought soy sauce and it wasn't delivered yet. I'm now starting to do it's my long-term purchases and stuff. I'm now starting to order those online. Oh, that's not good, Sly. Just not good pair-ups. That game can be rough if you don't have a set team. That's sort of half the reason why I gave up on it relatively early on. I didn't even make it to the second season. Or maybe I just barely did. But yeah, just having people just drop for no reason at all, or because they don't like where you're dropping, or they don't like the way you look, or they didn't get their favorite character. It's a fun game, though. Sorry, I'm sitting here bashing the game you play on. Certainly fast. It's slowed down a lot from what I've seen online. Seems like it's a lot more like a battle royale now than when it first started. When it first started, it was fast run and gun. People went and got too good. In the bot. In the pot. Oh, we have a... This is just water, other than the pork that I seared off beforehand here. And we're mixing up, we're going to add these onions. Might as well just add these in here now. And continue braising with all this lovely flavor. Sorry for the metal on metal. We got this pepper that's going to go in there. This is all going to cook, so I'm not worried about this being raw. But I wanted to caramelize get a little sweetness and cook the garlic nice and full through. I'll let that simmer. And then we've got this loveliness here that Let's see. What else can I throw in here? I'm trying to thin this out a bit. That's what we can do. Add a little beer. IPA wouldn't be my first choice here, but it shall work. Again, we're just trying to loosen up this peanut butter so that it doesn't end up in a giant mass in the pan next to that pork. I think I might have to pull the pork out and blend it in anyways. Which I'll do. Thanks, Bornless Flies Fox. Thanks for the raid. Thank you for stopping by, saying hello. You guys, if you aren't familiar, Born Slies and Fox, obviously a fellow streamer. He does some culinary and fermenting streams, and obviously does some playing of Apex. So you guys go give him a check out, and give him a follow. Open him up a tab next time you see online. That is a pork loin that I cut off of the bone at the beginning of the stream. All the pork that I do here on stream is all coming from essentially the same pig. Around early June, I butchered a whole hog here, minus head and offal, and I've been working on the individual cuts that I froze and am defrosting here. We're actually working our way through that pretty well here. But yeah, so that's what we're doing with that. Let's get ourselves some cookies going too. Gonna do some peanut butter cookies. Tonight's theme is obviously peanuts, it being National Peanut Day. I don't normally follow the national food holidays, but a fair number of them lined up this month, and so sort of doing that this month, but it's not my normal operating method. Let's see here, and let's throw a little thyme in there. That looks good. Just a small amount of thyme. Just a little bit of thyme. So, peanut butter cookies. Cup of this, cup of this, cup of everything in them, as far as I remember. Actually, how much is this by weight? So it's about half this container. And no, I'm not going to measure it. And yes, my cookie's going to turn out spectacular. This is how I'm going to measure it. Sugar, brown sugar, these things, and toss a few of these guys in with our pork, just a stew. These are already salted and roasted and delicious. I didn't unsalt, I didn't defrost butter or room temp butter. So how about that Formula One race today? That was redonkulous. I watched that live, and that was quite entertaining. Little bumper cars action for Formula One. That's not common. You got 2 red flags, which is stupid uncommon. Traded leaders a couple of times. Got some interesting people on the podium. Not near as interesting as last week, but interesting nonetheless. Wow, that microwave and my headset do not like working together. Or rather, my earbuds. Let's see how well we did there. We're doing most of the way there. Let's get that another 10 seconds. Yep. Earbuds and microwave don't like each other. trying to break all that butter down before I move into trying to mix all the sugar in here. We'll add the eggs in after that. Had to make a special trip for eggs tonight, just so I could have cookies. Forgot I ran out of eggs on Wednesday. So like 1 o'clock, I was like, got everything? Damn it. Rice vinegar away. Vinegar. Cup of white sugar. It's a cup of everything. Cup of white sugar, cup of brown sugar, cup of peanut butter, cup of 2.5 cups of flour, but well, the general rule of thumb, just around a simmer or just under a simmer, about 2 hours, and just about anything will fall apart. But we're not going to go the full 2 hours here tonight. That doesn't need to be cooked that long since it's loin. At this point, it's what I would call a perfect slow cooker recipe. You can put it in your slow cooker like that and just forget about it. Come back to it after work. I mean, you obviously don't want to do it until the thing completely falls apart, but you can just set it and forget it. Good old Ron Popeil there. We've already seared the outside. I don't really have much worry that that pork is cooked through at this point. It's more how far do we want to break it down and make it soft and delicious. Even though, again, this is more of a slow cook thing. Loin's a little bit more of a hot, direct heat. So this is also a recipe that worked great with pork butt or pork shoulder. It's the fat's just going to make this all gorgeous. And I'm not even done putting everything in this pan yet. I'm making these cookies, but I still have serrano here to add into there. Do the serrano a little later on. Just do it really fine. It's just going to melt in there anyways. So we got our white and brown sugar in there. Let's do our eggs and our salt. As you can tell, I am not afraid of salt, even in cookies. For you guys just joining with the raid, if you guys don't know, I do have stream raiders going on here. That's what that timer is on the stream. If you guys go to streamraiders.com, and search for me as your stream captain, or you can do streamraiders.com/t/chefjt, and you can add a new character to the battlefield every 5 minutes, and every 30 minutes we hold a battle. And you'll see what that is here in 5 minutes. Get you away from the dirty dishes here. I was worried about that glass breaking when I put the hot oil in it. Not huge. When you're using, especially if you're using a mixer or something, it just makes my life a little bit easier doing it by hand, because eggs do have a structure. It's easier to just break that structure down and then mix it in rather than trying to do both at the same time. Probably doesn't save a heap of time, but put our eggs away, put our sugar away. Squeaky plastic. It's probably more something that I just did out of habit than, because I do recipes like this and I don't have a mixer. I've been I took the goal down, but I've sort of been saving up any donations or anything along that line. That's all going towards blender money, or mixer money rather. Also, for those joining me with Born Slayers of Foxes raid, I'm also a former mixer streamer, so been streaming about a year now, but only been here on, well, I've been streaming more than a year now, but been here on Twitch just for the last 3 months or so. Turn that down even a little bit more. In fact, I'm gonna pull this out and make sure we're not sticking on the bottom underneath. We're sticking a little bit. We're not getting any burning though, so we're lucky. I caught it in time. It does mean I'm gonna have to add a little bit more water to this party. back in there. And we'll do our battle. I think we got this one. Victory. On to the next map. I'm just going to put him in the center. Can't tell what's going to pop up in this map because this is one of those maps where the enemies are revealed over time, so there is no great spot to start, I don't think. Flour. I need some flour. I don't know if that's enough. I think it's 2.5 cups of flour for the two and a half. Wow, this is a larger recipe than I was expecting. We can leave this out. I split that with flour. I'm gonna have me some peanut butter cookies. We got salt in there, soda, and baking powder. Got our leavening agents, our chemical leaveners. I actually should probably buy no batch of both of these guys. They're both getting pretty old, and while they'll still work, they're more effective when they're newer. thing I love about these spoons. It's like these spoons were designed to be used this way. They just cup the hand so well. And I mean, it's completely wrong direction that you want it to be for normally holding a spoon. But works nice for this. They just feel good in the hand otherwise. I mean, I think I got these at IKEA ages ago. Like back when I lived in Phoenix. A long time ago. Not normal procedure here, but the spoon wasn't cutting it, I don't think. Don't want to work it too much. I'm not really trying to knead it at all. I'm trying to make sure it's all combined. I think we're good there. So we'll take that. We'll save that for peanut butter cookies. And then hey, Land Diggity. Welcome, welcome. How you doing this evening? Making some cookies. Braising some pork and peanuts and vinegar and beer and peppers and onions. Doing pretty well. I still need those out for garnish. So we'll give this a mix up. So we'll now have 2 batches of cookies here. You got the chocolate and peanut butter cookies and the peanut butter cookies. Nah, it takes a little bit more than that. Earn a band from me. Especially when you're telling the truth. It's a very creative name there, though. Yep, already gone. Figures. I half think it's kids just trying to get banned. I don't know. I'll be right back. Sort of back. Okay. Peanuts are, that's going. Get our oven on. I assume it's for 350. 375. Let's grab some serranos and chop those up for in the pork. Purplicious tonight. Pull that pork out one more time and mix that all in there nice and good and happy. Smelling that oven making me wonder if I got something hidden in there. Which I don't. If you weren't watching from earlier, this is water, peanut butter, apple cider vinegar, rice wine vinegar, and I'm sort of wishing I had a little soy sauce thrown in there. And we got onions, garlic, sweet red pepper, and serranos in there for veggies. Unfortunately, I lost most of my good sear there on the very top because the fat peels away too easy. But the bottom of that is just gorgeous. Should have left the bottom up for braising it. Would have been gorgeous in the pan. Drinking a little Lagunitas IPA tonight. Didn't feel like I haven't gone wine shopping this month. Gonna have to do that at some point. So we got that going. Oven's preheating. Let's prep our rice. Almost out of rice again. No, I'm not rinsing it. Let's see, you're pretty. We'll use you. Put you in there. Bit of butter. And some cumin. Love the smell of cumin. I like the smell of cumin so much more than I do the smell of coriander. But I'm not going light on this tonight. We're going heavy with the coriander there. Anything else do I want to throw in there? Pepper and MSG. Pepper, salt, and the other type of salt, MSG. Add a little of that to this pot too. A little less than 2 times as much water. We'll put a cover on him. Get to scooping cookies. Very exact method I use for this process. I'm horrible at Ian. Adrian? Not sure how to pronounce that for sure. Been a shoemaker for 15 years. What are you talking about? Hey, AJ. do 6 of each here. Alright. Well, for the uninitiated, I've been streaming, 14 months now? 13 months? 14 months? Former Mixer streamer. Been streaming here on Twitch for about 3 months now. Cook dinner on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. I have lots of pork in this house because in early June I butchered nearly a whole pig and have much of that still. Well, I'm working through that pretty steadily, but have a fair amount of that still in the freezer here in front of me, between the camera and me. Oops. Switching over to peanut butter there, aren't I? Thank you for the follow, Adrian. Still not enough. And cooking for myself here, so while I do regularly wash my hands, I don't think I've washed my hands since you walked in. Cooking for myself here, not worrying about poisoning someone else here with my dirtiness. Our rice is boiling. Cut the heat on that and give that 10 minutes here. Thanks for following, Sir Weed. I'm just realizing that that sound alert isn't playing. Did you guys hear that sound alert for the following? Because I didn't. Thank you, Entropy. Do still have a slow flame going here on our pork. We have a pork loin in there, or part of a pork loin, with peanut butter, a couple different types of vinegar, serranos, sweet red bell peppers, and onions and garlic. Water to loosen it up, little beer to loosen it up. Often drink a little here on stream, just having a beer or two tonight, but often have supermarket wines. Try out other cheap local wines. I live here in Sonoma County, Northern California, so lots of wine around here. I still tend to stick to the cheap supermarket stuff, but there is the hometown hookup too. I'll leave this with you and clean this and this up for now. Throw our first batch of cookies here in the oven. Actually, these are peanut butter cookies. I need to mash these down. So I'll do that here. Stay together. Okay. $375 oven. 10 to 15 minutes here. Let me double check our time. 10 minutes. Just about wrapping up here. Our rice is going to be ready here in another couple minutes. Our pork is without question cooked through. Question is how gorgeous is it? Actually, why don't we give that a chop up? Give this a slicing. Add it back into the pot. While we're waiting on the oven to warm up here. So this has been cooking for a while, so we're not going to get that beautiful rosy center here. We're going to get cooked center. Wow, this thing is dull. So we're just gonna 1-inch cube it, throw it back in there. Battle. Oh, they cheated and flanked us, making us split our forces. Okay, I can't deal with this knife being dull. Victory. Welcome back, Ghost Switch. Clean up my knife here real quick. what goodies we get. Ooh, 50 gold coins. Entropy of the winner. See if I can't do anything with my army. Can't do anything with my army. Next map. There we go. So we'll go back to using a proper knife here. Actually, to be honest, that knife needs to be sharpened too, but it's a hell of a lot better than the other one. Realizing my board ain't very centered here, is it? There we go, that's a little bit better. Rice should be done. Should have another 5 minutes here on the cookies in the oven. Getting here just in time, Darkstorm. We've got the cookies in the oven. We got the pork here chopped up on the stove, ready to go when we are. The rice is ready. Just about ready to start plating here. So we got our pork and peanut sauce with peppers and onions and garlic. Grab this guy. Wash the cookie dough off of them. Take a look at our cumin and lime rice. Make sure we get all that good juice out of that rice, or out of that lime. Toss that in the compost. Give that a good, yeah, that's gonna be yummy. So now we're just waiting on those cookies to come out. See how they turn out here. Got another 3 minutes on those. I apologize. You guys aren't seeing the stove there, so you weren't seeing that rice. Rice is looking like rice, but looking good. Use that for garnish. Let's clean off our board here. Don't really have much in the way of other. Those chives I picked up on Friday were. I just couldn't save those. Those wouldn't last. But chives would be great for garnish tonight. Maybe if you had some nice cilantro or Pelusia cilantro would go well, especially with the cumin rice. Also, sort of half announcing, but sort of not at the same time. Sort of doing National Food Days this month, but next month, along with some special days, I'm going to follow one or two of the National Days next month too. But I'm going to start doing weekly voting in the Discord. And I'll give you guys 2 off-the-wall ingredients. Maybe here in the future we can open it up to you guys to pick the ingredients. But to start, I'm going to do it. Give you guys from Wednesday until the next Monday to vote on that in Discord. And the next Wednesday, I'll make dinner using whatever odd or weird ingredient you guys vote in. Sort of thinking a choice of popcorn or hot dogs for the first win. Not typical ingredients for me on either end there. I'm probably going to have to microwave the popcorn if I do that. And hot dogs. Hot dogs. So I figure we can have some fun with that and people can come up with some ideas. And trying to find ways to get you guys involved and give you guys a little say in the show and feel like you're involved. So that's going to be starting on the 30th. Also on the Discord, we got the Formula One chat and all the other typical Discord stuff. Still got a heat here on our pork slowly cooking. Let's see. Ooh, we're 1 minute over on our cookies here. Yeah, let's pull those out. So we got our cookies there. Our chocolate and peanut and our just straight peanut butter. Give you guys a board close up here. That chocolate's just melted. We'll set those off to the side here to cool. Now let's go with the blue bowl tonight, and not the chipped one. All that cumin just hitting me in the face here. Big fan of cumin in my rice. I don't do it very often, but I like cumin. I should use it more. Now we'll pull out our sprig of thyme here. Turn the heat off on that. That'll continue to coast. I really want some green for this. Really don't have much. There's no oregano in that dish, but it looks better. Knife, kniff. Where's my kniff? Awesome. So I'll take the oregano out now. Take a photo of our cookies. And let's see who we can give some love to tonight. Share some love with. Oh, there was the green that I needed all along. There was the green that I needed. Let's retake that. Awesome. So I'm going to be back here on Wednesday doing fresh baked cinnamon raisin bread. It's National Cinnamon Raisin Bread Day. Like I said, we're doing the National Food Days. And not only are we going to be doing that, but I'm going to be doing, since that's sort of like a prep ahead thing, I'm really just going to be baking it on stream. I'm going to bake it, I'm going to slice it, and then I'm going to turn it into French toast. And then I'm going to serve it with, I'm forgetting it, but a famous banana pudding recipe. Going to do that recipe for the first time an attempt. So we'll have French toast cinnamon raisin bread with some really good banana pudding. So that should be a good stream. And then next Friday, actually, it's going to be National Cheeseburger Day. Cheeseburger? I forget which it is. But gonna have lots of fun with that too. Gonna be doing a patty melt my way, and also going to be doing a Wendy's Baconator bread pudding for dessert. My own recipe. Haven't seen this done before. I've seen hamburger bread pudding before, but so I'm gonna try and do that. Pull that off here on next Friday. I'm gonna send you guys to go hang out with Chef again. She's one of our Team Bone In streamers. Hopefully this will load for me. Please work, computer. Why does this run so slow when I want to do this? It's like my computer will run fine up until the last moment here. I will finish the last Stream Raiders battle off stream there, so go switch and Entropy. That battle will be finished up there. But I hope you all enjoy Chef Nigan's show. She is quite the fun character. I haven't spent a ton of time interacting with her, so please give her a warm welcome for me. And thank you all for joining me. Like I said, I'll be back here on Wednesday. Debating doing a short stream on Monday here. Maybe see me do a little marbles, a little Stream Rangers or something. A little chat along. We'll see what I feel like in the morning. But otherwise, thank you and have a good night.